Here we are at Cloverfield Farm, and today we've got a box of potato starts so that we're going to try to plant into the garden. And either late winter or early spring is a really good time for planting potatoes. So this box just came in the mail, and we order certified, disease-free organic potatoes from Peaceful Valley Farm Supply or Grow Organic. And you can see they come from Washington State, and they meet all the requirements. So the variety I purchased, called Purple Majesty, it's one of my favorites. I like to buy certified organic potatoes rather than trying to plant potatoes from the grocery store. And the reason is, at least for all of the conventional potatoes, they're treated with growth inhibitors. In general, if you plant those, they're designed to not sprout. And that's what you want if you want a storage potato at home. But if you want to grow potatoes, either buy certified organic potatoes that are designed disease-free, or if you want to take your chances and possibly have a problem with disease, you can sometimes grow the organic potatoes from your grocery store. But you have a slight chance of possibly getting some blight problems with your potatoes by doing that. So this is what it comes in. I bought 7 pounds. This will be enough to plant about 40 square feet of potatoes. And I love this potato. You can see on the picture here, it's purple all the way through, which means it's really rich with the purple anthocyanins. And then let's take a look inside. Yes, those look beautiful. So here are the potatoes. These are big ones, and I can see they're ready for planting. Look at how the little buds on these, the little eyes of the potatoes, are now already starting to push out their sprouts, which means that they're going to get started in the garden very quickly and grow strong. Now these potatoes at this stage are bigger than we would like to plant in the garden. What we want to have are about 1 ounce pieces. And these are probably anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces. And I'm going to go ahead and cut them into pieces that are about an ounce a piece. That one. And look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's your purple potatoes. So that's probably about right, and I might be able to get one more out of this one.
They're like beets.
They are, and they're a delicious potato. They're really, really good. All right, now this one's a little more challenging. Let's see, I'll start here.
So you're cutting, making sure that every piece has an eye, at least one eye, and that you're not cutting through an eye.
Yep, so these should be good. And then if I want to double check, I'm figuring at least they can be anywhere from ½ an ounce to 1 ounce, and we can double check that on a scale just to see how I'm doing. Yeah, that's about 1½ That's good. I like them about that size.
Any scientific reason behind that?
You want to have enough flesh because until the plant gets started, they live on the starches in the tuber. So you want to have enough reserve energy there so that they'll grow strong until they form their own roots and shoots.
Peaceful Valley is a really nice source. They're in Grass Valley, and they have lots of good organic, supplies and everything.
Right. I buy from them quite a bit.
Yeah, and they source from many good places.
Yeah, they have online videos too, and I've learned a lot from them. Now what I'm going to want to do is let these cure for a little while. You don't want to plant them immediately after you've cut them just because sometimes that, again, can cause diseases. And it doesn't take very long, but I'll leave them out here as I prepare the bed in the garden. I'll leave them here in the shed, and it's nice and warm, even though it's rainy outside today. They'll be able to kind of dry and form sort of a protective scab over the surface so that you don't have diseases that'll rapidly get into there.
So you just leave them with their cut surfaces open to the air.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you can do that an hour or two ahead if it's a nice sunny day, or even for a day or two, but not much longer than that. So it's fun nowadays. There are lots of very colorful potatoes that are available to plant. And some stores you may see them, but it's still not that common. But there's all red varieties. You want to look for potatoes of various colors. There's the Yukon Golds, Yukon Gem, lots of colors in your potatoes. And that's fun to have the variety. They have slightly different flavors, but lots of nutrition. Purple Viking, that's the one I was trying to think of, that has the purple outside and the very white flesh on the inside.
I actually have a potato video on my channel on potato history about them coming from South America. And from different sources I read that there are like 6,000 varieties of potatoes at least. And in South America that's incredible amount of varieties of potatoes that they've been growing for centuries, even before Europeans knew about potatoes.
Right, and that's really important to have that genetic diversity. They talk about in the Irish potato famine, it was all one clone, and that's what can happen is if you just have one variety and it's disease susceptible, it can wipe out your whole crop. But much like our garden, being a diversity of different genetics and different types of plants, having even diversity in the one crop can protect yourself from a lot of diseases and pests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these look great. There's a big one, look at that. All right. Now, that one has a little bit of something going on in there, but it feels firm. I think it's okay. But if that had been soft and rotten, then I wouldn't want to plant that, but it looks okay. Okay, those look great. So we're going to let those sit for a little bit and dry in here in our dry, warm shed for perhaps at least half an hour up to an hour, enough time for those surfaces to dry. And I'm just putting them all so it's wet side up so that they have a chance to dry. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so now let's head up into the garden and find a good spot to plant these.